This year marks the 20th anniversary for the Buddhist retreat known as the Bhavana Society. Hi, I'm Greg Larry for HampshireReview.com. The retreat, located in Highview, West Virginia, started in 1985 when a Buddhist known as Bhante Gunaratana, living in Washington, D.C., purchased an initial 13-acre tract to make his dream of a secluded forest getaway come true. By 1989, they had expanded to 25 acres, and with construction complete, the doors were open on a new Buddhist retreat. We traveled to the center to have a look and to speak with some of the members to find out how they have been doing after 20 years of operation in Hampshire County. I'm Greg Larry for HampshireReview.com, and I am with
Bhante Rahula, and I was born in California and attended school there, went into the U.S. Army there in 1967 and went to Vietnam, came back, and in about 1972 I went to India and just to see the world, and encountered Buddhism there and became a monk and lived in Sri Lanka about 10 years and came back to live in this place in West Virginia in 1986. Buddhism is kind of a self-help practice, using the tools of meditation and the tools of what the Buddha taught, the Noble Eightfold Path. We can actually start to change our life, change the way we think, and overcome some of the bad habits that we might have, and also find a new way of relating to the world that brings a deeper kind of inner tranquility.
Now, how long have you been here, this retreat?
I came when the shell of this dining hall had been constructed, just the shell of it, and that was in spring of 1987. They bought the land, I think, in 85, and then they cleared it and started constructing this first building in 86, and I came that spring 87 and helped to finish it, and then we started gradually adding on, building the individual cabins, and then acquiring more property, adjacent property when it came up for sale. So we grew from a 13-acre initial plot to about 48 acres. And we're open to the public, and our website is there. People find out about it. So they call up our secretary. They said, I heard about your retreat and I'd like to come out. And we don't charge. The unique thing about the place here is we don't charge any specific fees for people to come here. This is the traditional Buddhist monk's alms bowl. It's colored to be dark color. And this is the stand that goes underneath it, because we're not supposed to be setting it directly on the ground. And this is what we take to Winchester when we go on alms round.
Do you get all types of food, all different types?
It's cooked food, eatable food. We don't collect like raw grains or stuff that we would have to cook. But sometimes like vegetables, fruits, sandwiches. Of course, the Thai restaurant puts cooked food in it.
And how have you found your experience here in Hampshire County?
In the beginning, of course, because Buddhism wasn't very well known back in the mid-'80s, people were a little bit skeptical. They didn't know what to make of the place, and because there had been some bad publicity about other cults and so on of the other religions. But over the years, we haven't done anything outrageous. We haven't done anything to attract attention. We try to be helpful when we can in the community, not cause any waves. And so I think most people accept us, and over the years accept us. They wave to us when we walk down the road. The only problem, the contention we had was with this recent power line episode that went through, and
you weren't alone in that.
I know we weren't alone in that.
I guess you're not happy about the trail line, the power lines coming through. Is it going to be on your property?
No, but it's going to be, we still don't know the exact, but within a few hundred feet of our boundary line, but that's too close for us. In initial, we had hired a lawyer and went to the hearings in Charleston, and it did manage to move it off our property. They had originally wanted to come and take about 100 feet actually of our property, and through our actions we got them to move it at least off the property and hopefully a couple 100 feet further, but the exact placement of it still is not known by us.
Tell me about a day in the life of a Buddhist monk here at the Bhavana Society.
We get up in the morning. I get up usually around 4 or 4:15 in the morning. Because I stay in a little cabin out in the woods, about a 10-minute walk from here, and I do a little bit of exercise. And I come down for 5 o'clock meditation. We have group meditation here at 5 o'clock. Then we have breakfast at 7, and then we do work. Usually the morning period is a work period. This is called the Buddhist monk's robe in English, but we call it a chivara, which means the robe. And this is the main garment of the Theravada Buddhist monk and nuns. They wear the same basic type of robe. We usually adopt, there's 3 or 4 different alternatives for sitting cross-legged. But ideally, you want to get both knees to try to touch the floor. It helps to turn the pelvis outward so that you can more easily keep your lower spine, the inward curve of your lower spine is kind of locked in place. And normally the hands are kept down on the lap, somewhere comfortable. Some people put them like this. So this is the basic posture. You try to relax the shoulders. And then our normal focus of attention is, in the beginning, is to develop what we call mindfulness of breathing. So you would focus your attention at the tip of the nostrils, or to feel the rising and falling of the abdomen, or expansion and contraction of the abdomen or rib cage or chest. And you would just remain mindful of when you're breathing in and when you're breathing out.
Bhikkhuni Sobana. I am a nun, and I have been actually practicing and studying here at this monastery since 1989. Well, I was born in Iowa, brought up in New York State, and lived in Washington, D.C. for about 30 years before I came out here. It's the generosity, the goodness, and the happiness that I saw in the monks that made such an impression on me. I said, oh, I want what they have. We're treated very nicely, especially the neighbors around here that have gotten to know us. They always say hello, and there's a man who lives down the road who gives us vegetables from his garden. And people take good care of us.
I'm Bhikkhuni Sudinna. I'm from Sri Lanka. Where I lived, there is a very, very big temple. It's a place where thousands of Buddhists come. Of course, I was married and I had children. When they were grown up and they came to, tour in this country, I came with them here.